Thanks, Shelley. Yeah, hey, if you want to believe it, again, no rules. I can't wait to hear what Kenny Roda has to say about that. Hi, Kenny. How are you?
That's the dumbest call I've heard in the year and one episode plus of Dogs on the Run. What color the damn beer vendors thing was. They always wear the bright yellow color so they stand out. So if you can't hear, the beer guy's here, in case he's not in your section, you can see them coming down and they're the most popular person. Nobody gives a damn what color the shirt or the vest is that they're wearing. That's the dumbest call we've had to this show.
You can go back. I might say that might rank up there with dumbest call I've had on my show. Yeah, I mean, think about all your radio years. Dumbest call ever?
Close? I used to work with Kenny. We've had way dumber.
You know what? It's in the top 10. It really is. I mean, you've got the Bostonian who's, got like 6 in the top 10. Then our buddy Dick from Dayton, I don't know if they're dumb. Well, I kind of think they are. But so it's in the top 10.
Yeah, it's in the top 10. No doubt.
Hang on. Eric the referee. What, Eric? What?
I was a little late, so she got the flag.
Yeah, it always helps when it took you forever to show that. Anyways, Kenny, where'd you go?
You need a flag to throw on Eric whenever he's late throwing the flag. So you need like a challenge flag or something like that so you can make sure Eric's on his toes.
How about a muzzle? Let's just get that kid a muzzle. He does a nice job of lining up the show. All right, Kenny, from your perspective, obviously, clearly a game of tale of two halves. Your thoughts on yesterday?
Yeah, you watch the first half and you're thinking, here we go again. Same old Browns. They go into Pittsburgh. They haven't won there, 9, 10 tries, whatever it's been. And they go out and they just lay an egg. And I think the Steelers at halftime, I watched you guys last night, the 11:30 show. And I think the Steelers at halftime had some hot dogs, some pizza, and started watching game film of the Baltimore Ravens first half against the Cincinnati Bengals because they came out and didn't give a damn at all about the second half. Jim Thome term, they lost their focusness in the second half. And kudos to the Browns for not laying down. You guys were right last night that in years past this would have been a 43-0 game. Instead, they came back, they fought back, and it was nice to see them go no huddle. And these were the keys that I had going into yesterday's game. And guys, number one, they valued the football. They didn't turn it over. That was huge.
Good point.
They created one turnover. They were a +1. They ran the ball, and that helped set up some of those play-action passes, especially the touchdown pass to Travis Benjamin, a little sleight of hand play action. And with the exception, I think, of one time, they did score touchdowns, not field goals, when they were in the red zone. So it's set up perfect for them in that second half to pull off the upset in what would have been the greatest comeback in Browns-Steelers history. But unfortunately, the stupid play calling on the final 3 plays deep in their own territory, short field for the Steelers, and as always is the case, right, on opening day, the Browns find a way to lose.
Yeah, Kenny, I can agree with most of that. The play calling in that last drive, I think, and I'm not a big fan of Shanahan, I'll say that early on. I think what happens when we said this last night, everything he called in the second half worked up until that point, and I thought they got a little cocky, a little arrogant in that last point. But here's the other thing. Did we really learn anything about the Browns or Steelers yesterday?
Well, I thought it was going to be a close game because I watched all the Steelers preseason games and all the Browns preseason games. The Steelers O-line and D-line are not good, guys.
No.
And I wrote blogs breaking down position by position all week long on KennyRoda.com, shameless plug, that the Steelers had the better O-line and the better D-line. And we saw that in the second half. They did what they were supposed to do the entire game, run the foot, 183 yards rushing. When's the last time the Browns have any yards rushing against the Steelers? And so for me, it reaffirmed the strengths of the Browns. The O-line, the D-line are the strengths. You need to use those to your advantage. And that's why I thought late in the game they should have run the ball on first, maybe second down, and then maybe thrown it on third down to see if you could pick up a first down and then be a little bit more aggressive. If you know the history of this rivalry, it usually ends bad for the Cleveland Browns since 1999, and Shanahan, I'm not sold on him yet either, Andre. Bad play calling down the stretch, but we learned the Browns don't have any wide receivers if Josh Gordon's not in there, right? We learned also that Joe Hayden, while one of the elite corners, has problems with Antonio Brown whenever he plays him, and Ben usually, he's one of the quarterbacks that doesn't shy away attacking Joe Hayden in a game like that. And we learned that the Browns are a young team with a lot of rookies. And I don't know, Andy, if you get a chance, go back and see if you can get a still frame of Andre last night. And I'll take my glasses off. He showed what the rookie's eyes looked like. And it was one of these, he had one of those. It's a great photo. If it's not on Twitter or on Facebook yet, it needs to be. It was classic, Andre. It was the Pat Shermer deer in the headlights look that you had.
That's exactly what it was.
I kind of want to go, you know, the big thing, and you brought it up before, and we talked about it for a second last night, was the fact that the Browns made an adjustment at halftime. They made an adjustment. Right? And for me, I mean, just to watch a Browns team make an adjustment and try to get back in it, it was refreshing. Because I can't tell, how many times have we watched this team go into the second half and go, okay, what are they going to do different? And they lay an egg. Yesterday, at least there was an adjustment. And I know there's small victories. A loss is a loss. But that, to me, was a sign of improvement.
And I loved Mike Pettine's comments. This is a pass-or-fail league, and we failed. And they did. They lost the game. But I think if you're a Browns fan, and I know Bubba won't agree with this. I saw him last night, and the coaches won't outwardly agree with this or say it, but there are moral victories if you're the Cleveland Browns since 1999, okay? Yeah. When you do what they did last night, the second half, you come back and you tie the game at 27 with about 11 minutes to play. That's something to build on, and that's considered a moral victory. And the Browns need to use what they did in the second half and build on that for the next game against a very pissed-off New Orleans team coming in here this Sunday.
Kenny, you watched the show last night. Will you come with me when Bubba goes down to smack the bag head of Coach Pettin if they don't come out?
Oh, I'm videotaping that. I want to see that. Absolutely. And you know what? He may poke him in the eyes, too, like he did when he was with the Lions rushing he's going to have to go the old the Three Stooges, right? Make sure you get the hand up just in case. Oh, Bubba's awesome. And you know you're going to get that's who you need with us this morning. If you want uncensored stuff,
he's coming on.
We'll give you the real deal on Dogs on the Run.
He'll be on with us later, and he'll bring us ribs, I hope. That's the best part about it. All right, we'll talk to you later.
Has Couch been on yet or not?
Wait, say that again?
Has Tim Couch been on yet?
Yeah, Tim was on once. He'll be back with us in about 5 minutes.
You need to get him to flex like he did the last time the Browns beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh, 2000.
Steelers fans are still pissed about that, aren't they? Kenny, Steelers fans are still pissed about that, aren't they?
Oh, absolutely. They remember that. But the response to that was yesterday when Antonio Brown did the Mr. Miyagi kick to the helmet of Spencer Lanning yesterday.
Speaking of that, did you see Brian Hoyer point over to Tomlin after the touchdown throw to Travis Benjamin?
Yes, I did. And how about Benjamin tossing the ball right at one of the Steeler fans in the end zone? I like it. You got to spice up the rivalry somehow. It's been so one-sided with the Steelers dominating this thing. Hopefully that'll be remembered, and they'll use that as a bullet board material next time they play.
All right, Kenny, we're going to check back in with you in a little bit here. Thank you very much. We'll talk to you soon. Nice hat, by the way. We appreciate it.
All right, thank you very much.
He wears those hats early in the morning, I see.
Oh, he's good, man. He rocks that. Nobody rocks that hat better than he does.
He rocks them. They look good on him.
All right, Eric, what do you got? A special guest over there. Eric, the referee. Look at that. Cleveland Kate's here.
Cleveland Kate is here.
We got to cheer for that.
Bad.
Today I'm the scone lady.
I know.
Wait, why are you the
You're
scone
having
lady?
the bone lady. I'm the scone lady.
I feel bad, Kate. I'll be honest.
I lost 2 bets this weekend. I'm paying them both off today. I lost a bet to my friend Bob. I have to wear yellow and black to work. Oh. It's painful, but I'm doing it. And I stayed up last night, and I made you some blueberry and some chocolate chip scones.
Ooh.
There's enough for you and the whole crew. I pay my bets.
Well, we appreciate it. And I feel bad, though, because the bet was after our preview show that ran on Thursday night.
Right.
I had picked the Steelers to win. Kate didn't take a liking to it and told me that I was going to have to apologize on the show if the Browns won.
You didn't just pick them to win. You picked them to win by like 10.
Hey, I would look
and so I was thinking maybe the bet was sort of a push because they only won by 3.
And I was going to say that to you, but I'm not going to say no to food. But
I said we'd win, and you said we wouldn't. So you were right.
That was what the end of the result was. But I felt like I made you forget and miss the best part of the game because you went to cook at halftime. And then she came back and tweeted me at in the 4th quarter, and she goes, "What happened?" So not only did you not get to see the best part of the Browns, you still had to cook and make them for me.
I watched the game. I can multitask. I can work and cook and watch them at the same time. Plus, I DVR'd it so I could watch the second half again last night because there were so many really cool things in the second half.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing him down here. We appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Anything you need to plug? Because we let people plug whatever they want on the show.
No, I'm good.
Nothing? Nothing? What'd you think?
Put out your Twitter handle. So
yeah, put out your
My Twitter handle is at Cleveland Kate, CLVLNDK, the letter 8. And since there are no rules on Dogs on the Run, I would just like to say, Next week when the Browns play, I'd like to see a little more balls. I'd like to see them go for a field goal, even if it's a 53-yarder. I'd like to see a 2-point conversion. Can we try a 2-point conversion to win the game? At the point where you got the touchdown and it's 26-27, what do you have to lose? You were not in that game until the second half.
Kate,
have
no
some balls.
way.
Go for the 2-point
Kate,
conversion.
come
have
on.
some guts. Have some guts.
No,
Don't
Kate,
be the
you're
same old
wrong.
Brown.
On this one,
You've
look,
been in Berea. Doesn't
Go,
it say
Kate.
be bold on the wall?
Kate,
Be
they were
bold.
red hot.
Kate is right. Be bold.
You're going to
Be
go
bold.
for 2 with 13. What they score?
But see, here's the
Why
fight.
There's no way. How
Unless-
much time was left? There
here's
was.
the- it was still 6 minutes, I think. I'm not looking at the
No,
stats.
there was 11.
The last touchdown?
Hang on a second.
But here's my thing, and Kate, I'll say this for all NFL teams. If you watched Oregon and you watched Philadelphia, and even the Green Bay Packers did this during the preseason, it's time for some of these teams to start going for 2 and to have a little what she said. I mean, and go for it on 4th downs at certain
Guys,
points in
there
time.
was 11:15 to go in the game.
No, they should
Kate.
have went for 2 there.
Kate, there's
And
no
we-
way. You
and we
just
were
came
moving
back
the
and you
ball.
tied the
Why
game
not?
up.
We were moving the ball really well at that point. There was plenty of time left. Why not take a shot at it and go for 2?
Because
They
if
weren't
you miss
expecting
that
it.
conversion with 11:15 to go in the fourth quarter, now you're back in the hole and you've given them back
by
the
1.
momentum.
We were
Remember how
already
you
down
felt?
by 24. Now you're only down by 1.
You came all the way back.
Exactly.
There's no way.
So you didn't
You're on the
believe you
road.
could come
There's
back
no
from down
way
by
you're
1.
going for 2.
You just,
No way.
Kate,
If
what
you
does
don't
it say?
believe,
What does it say in Berea, Kate?
be bold. Fine, then baby steps.
It doesn't
on
say
3rd
be
and 1,
stupid.
you run a running play. If you can't run the ball on 3rd and 1, I don't care if they know you're going to run the ball. Good running teams run the ball on 3rd and 1 when the defense
I'll
knows
buy
they're
that.
going to run it.
But there
Then you
is
run on 3rd
no
and
way,
1.
Kate. There is
All right.
no way you're going for 2 with 11. I mean, I don't even have a problem with them punting the ball because if you don't have a mishap in the end zone, the Steelers have the ball on their own inch
Right.
line.
I hear you. I hear you. I
She
guess
wasn't
in
a big
general,
goal.
I just think more teams need to go for the 2-point conversion.
I agree
Nobody
with
does it anymore, and you need to be able to do that. At some point, you need to be able to do that. You need to have
Okay.
some balls.
Kate,
I love you.
I love you, Kate, too.
I love
Thank
you
you.
You
guys.
want to make a bet for next week's game?
No.
No, that's fine.
Did you see the Saints yesterday going to overtime?
Yes.
They're not going to be happy when
They're
they
not
get
going to
here.
be happy at all.
Oh, good. Spastic Dave has just walked in.
I wonder why. I heard there's free food.
Go ahead, sit down,
Yeah,
Spastic.
Kate.
We can't hear you. What's your
I heard
problem?
there's free food. Somebody
Dave,
must be a part of the
might
show.
I offer you a scone?
Look, Kate's got an opinion.
You
You're
got to
over
get
there
in the
saying,
camera.
"Oh, wrong, wrong."
Hey, I know this is your first time on TV. Please sit down, step up to the mic.
I'm not stepping up to the mic.
Come on, Spastic Dave, if you're going to
Come on,
talk,
sit right on my lap,
talk.
baby.
Balls
If you're
needed.
going to talk,
Sit right on my
talk.
lap.
Balls.
Balls.
bold.
I-
Be
you don't have
bold.
enough
Be
left.
bold. There you go.
bold right there.
There you go.
Be bald?
Be bald. Be
yeah.
bald.
There you
All
go.
right.
I love a
Definitely
bald
be
man.
bald. I'm for being bald.
We're getting a camera for you in your office. Yes, we are. All right, let's go to the Browns backer. I just lost my Comrex. Can you call that up there for me? Kate, thank you very much.
Thank you, Kate. You're the best. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. It's on.
Oh, he's on Skype 1. Sorry about that. All right, we are going to go to our Browns backer who's got a rant. It is Howie Smith, the president of the Susquehanna Valley Browns backers. I can't say Browns backers, but I can say Susquehanna,
Yeah.
right?
I can say Browns backers. You say that part.
All right, first of all, you're going to have, 60 seconds? Eric,
That's
the
what they
referee?
said.
You got 60 seconds to rant. Just go off. You ready?
I got it.
All right. Ready, Eric? Hang on. Eric's not ready. This is what happens when you don't have pre-show meetings and Spastic Dave walks into the studio while you're doing things.
He's over here trying to eat what Kate left us. All right.
All right, hang on. This is our very high-tech clock.
I
right, here
can't
we
see
go.
it, but you just tell me when to go.
Go.
Yesterday's game was painful but still rewarding. It was like giving birth. The first half was like going through labor, and the second half was like having the baby pop out and be healthy. The Browns aren't really healthy yet, but they did enough to close up the sucking chest wound that the Steelers opened up on us in the first half. The most glaring weakness I saw were the man-to-man cover and tackling on defense and having an outlet for Hoyer when blitzed in the first half and on the last drive. I do love the way they ran the no huddle. Hoyer has enough it to run it effectively. I want to talk about the discussion surrounding the possible changes in the substance abuse policy now. Notice how the Steelers running backs have apparently dodged the bullet till the end of the season. Hopefully the existing penalties will be reduced if a new policy is put in place, and we'll get to see Gordon back on the field. Now, what the owners and the NFL really need to focus on is the fans. Teams that are 3 or more games under 500 at any point in the season should be given a free 6-pack and a Ziploc filled with hash brownies at the gate. It'll improve the fan experience by making
right,
teams that
Howie,
are
you're out of
simply
time, you're out of time.
unwatchable fun
Excellent
and provide
job,
a welcome
Howie.
relief to the
He doesn't
50
care
or
that I'm
60
talking
bucks
to
you have to shell out there in the game just to keep your buzz going.
All right.
So Okay?
Yeah, we're good. Oh,
Good
you got a
job,
flag on
Howie.
that. Howie, that was excellent. I got to
What's
tell
up?
you, you did a great job there.
Those brownies sound like a good idea, bud.
Hey, tell me about your website. Tell me about Susquehanna Valley Browns backers and what folks can
Right
do.
now, all we have is a Facebook page. We don't have a website per se. We are coming out to Cleveland though for the Ravens game, and I already told Eric we're going to be in the east end of the Muni lot if we get there early enough with 40 or so people and partying it up. So feel free to stop by for some Jello shots and Bloody Marys, and we'll hook you up.
Outstanding. Howie,
bud.
great job, and we appreciate it, especially when you're on the other side of the line there. We appreciate it.
Great. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Howard.
Thanks,
Good
Andy.
job.
Thanks a lot, Eric.
Thank you. Nice job. Oh, how about that?
Oh,
Eric, the
Eric, good
referee,
love.
getting some love.
Here, how many refs get love?
Yeah, you threw a flag at him. That's weak. Howie wakes up in the morning and joins us on the show, and then all of a sudden you dog him like that. What do we got? We got Tim Couch coming up here in a couple minutes, too. Let's go back to the phone lines. James is in Brooklyn Heights. Hi, James.
James in Richmond Heights.
Richmond Heights. You know what? Eric, the referee.
Flag on the referee.
He's the one that put that out there, and he doesn't know the difference between the east side and the west side. I'm embarrassed for him.
You know, the thing that really gets me is the first half yesterday, the officials, Pittsburgh was holding so much, and right in front of the officials, and they didn't call it.
James, we
They did
can't
not
blame this
call
game
it.
on referees. Come on. Really?
And
Now,
I just
look at the
feel
front.
like
I have the stats in front of me.
the officials
Steelers
called
were,
the
I
game
think,
was
had 11
wrong.
penalties on them. We had like 6, so we can't put it on the officials.
No, I'm not putting it on the officials, sir. I'm not putting it on the officials. What I'm saying, they had too many blatant holding calls on them long passes.
Sounds
It
like
should
you
have
put
been
it on the
called.
officials.
I don't care what you say. When you hold, you hold. You know, and another thing, when we had the ball, it was 4th and a half a yard. Why go for a field goal? Why not go for the first down? We make the first down, we got a possibility of scoring a touchdown. That was a bad call on us, too. I don't know what Shanahan was thinking about.
James, thank you. And I want to bring up this point, too, with Andre right now. James, great phone call. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
James.
Have a good one, James.
I'm holding though right
All right,
now.
listen. Here's what I want to ask you, and I almost brought this up before. We'll bring this up with Tim when he calls back. All right. Let's go back to those last 3 offensive plays of the game for the Browns.
Yes.
So, again, you're deep in your own territory.
Yes.
At the worst, you want to eat the clock.
How much time was it start when they
There was
that drive started?
1:53 when the Browns got the ball back, just inside the 2-minute warning.
And I keep saying, this is a very easy time to attack the offensive play calling. Was it great? No. And what had set up all their big pass plays was the running the football. But I think they felt like they had to get a big chunk early on because of where they were at. I'm not defending Kyle Shanahan, but I think at some point in time we got to put on the players that they actually have to go out and make the plays work that are out there. You know, I mean, on second down, you probably should have ran on first or second.
Here's what my problem is. It's the second down play. I agree with you. Try to go out and get a big chunk on the first down. The offense had been rolling. There, I'll agree with Cleveland Kate. If you want to do it, get it on first down. Right. But now you got to realize that where you are on the field, and you just lost 6 yards. And in a way, Mitchell Schwartz, again, Mitchell bumped into Brian, right. And then all of a sudden you see an arm holding Brian on leg. Okay, so you gave up a sack. You just gave up 6 yards. Odds of getting down the field that fast with the team, not very good. Run the ball. I don't understand why they threw the second.
And the other problem I have, and we hasn't been discussed in all the times that all the things we've talked about, the screen game. And I tweeted, hey, this is a great time for a screen pass. The Steelers killed us with the screens yesterday. To start the game off, they used our own speed against us early on, and then they got them again in the fourth quarter. Well, you knew the Steelers were pinning their ears back. The problem I had was the type of screen that they called. They called the one over to Andrew Hawkins that basically they've run the whole game. How about a quick screen to one of the running backs who were running through tackles throughout the second half? I thought just the play calling, I didn't have a problem with passes, just the right passes in that situation. And even the tight end screen they tried earlier in the game with Jordan Cameron just doesn't do it for me. Give it to one of these running backs. They're your most explosive players on the field right now.
The other thing that I think was impressive, and again, the last 3 plays on offense still bother me because if you're going to give Big Ben the ball in scoring position and he's only got to get 20 yards, 30 yards against field goal, right. I'd rather take my chances and go to overtime, which I don't know if that's a great move if you're on the road.
Well, let me say this.
That's the hard part.
Right. Is there a guarantee that you go to overtime if you run the ball 3 times?
You'll come close to running out the clock.
You'll come close. I mean, but if you run the football, let's say it was 2nd and 16, they run the football. Let's say they don't gain yards. Pittsburgh uses a timeout.
Now they're down to 1 timeout.
And I agree with you. You run the ball on 3rd and 17 or whatever because we're playing for overtime. You're still backed up. You have nowhere to kick the ball from. I just think you're still in the same situation. Would it have been more difficult for the Steelers? Absolutely. But it's no guarantee that we're sitting here talking about a win if they run the ball those two times. But I get it.